1999.
Yes. Get out of here. And so we kind of talk about this with every defensive guy that's rolled through here, just the challenges of the last couple of weeks with so many guys going down. Your room has been more injury than COVID, but just expanded roles, expanded opportunities. I think you just played season high in snaps. So what is the challenges of the last couple of weeks been like for you personally?
Well, one thing I've learned and people have praised to me was in the NFL, injuries happen, things happen, and that's why you always have to be prepared. So I made sure throughout the week that I was mentally prepared for what could happen. Prayers to Alex, I know there's not one in this season, but, hopefully he gets better. But just things like that happen, you have to always be ready and be prepared. Next man up, that's what they say, next man up, and that's what you have seen these last few weeks. So, we just have to keep the same intensity as a defense, just keep pursuing where we want to be. So I think that's the biggest key right now.
This week, Josh and Alex went out pretty early in this game. So what was different on your plate? What bigger responsibilities did you have in this last game?
Really just staying on the field, in our first, second down packages, third down packages. Just really hone in on, what is my job? What have I, seen happen throughout practice, and what mistakes can I fix that I did in practice in the game? Seeing things different, formations, knowing what I need to be, knowing where everybody else need to be. That's kind of the role I played, and also helping out Jalen. It was a lot of him also. He played, a lot of snaps also, and just echoing calls, making sure other people line up because he was tired. We both were, but just helping each other out kind of gave us, an edge and to be able to play. So.
AG said this week's opponent is very different with Atlanta than what Arizona was. I think he said you got to buckle your chin straps this week against those guys. Just how different of an opponent are they? What maybe jumps out when you watch them on film? What leads to that kind of comment?
I would just say how physical they are. Playing against Arizona, they're more of a finesse team. A lot of skill players, fast guys, and Atlanta has that too, but they're more of a downhill team. They want to run the ball, then they want to take big shots down the field. So we just have to hone in on those small things and read our keys and, just the small things that we see on film and just knowing, like, okay, what personnels do they like to run in, what personnels do they like to pass in. So, just, like I said, hone in on those small things and, get the job done. So.
Arguably the best defensive performance for you guys all year long. How important is it for you guys to stack one on top of another, not just be a flash in the pan one week and maybe a letdown the next week, but to build that kind of consistency and how important that'll be in the long term for this defense?
I would just say stay consistent. Coming in through the week, like this week of practice, doing the same thing we did last week, focused on the small detail, hone in on the game plan. I think that was pretty huge for us as we when we played Arizona, it was just like everything we game planned, that's what we did, and we executed it and it worked. And we had to do the same thing this week, come back with the same intensity. And like Coach said, buckle up your chin strap and, get ready to play downhill and get ready to play these shot throws, these shot passes, things like that. I would say, one thing our defense, does well is, we always fight to the end, and we continue to fight, no matter if we're up, no matter if we're down, we continue to fight, and I think that's what gave our defense an edge. So.
What stands out about Patterson for the Falcons? Dual threat option.
The guy can do everything, from running the ball to playing the wide receiver. He's definitely a key factor to this game. We know that's the guy that we have to stop. He's a down here runner. He's not going to avoid tackle. He's not going to avoid contact at all. He's going to play hard, and that's what we expect. So we just have to go in the game and, treat him how we treat everybody else, get the ball, rally to the ball, population to the ball. Everybody has to be on the tackle, not just one person. So
I did want to ask, a lot of the players on the Cardinals and Kyler Murray said he was really relatively surprised just how physical the defense played. What does it mean when you hear a team say, wow, we went up against an opponent and they were really physical with us, and expressing surprise at just how physical the game was?
I mean, that's – every defense wants to hear that. I think a physical defense is one of the main keys of a successful defense is being physical, being physical on receivers, being physical on O-line, being physical on the running backs. And, some people can't take that. Some people, when they, continue to get, I want to say push around, but continue, another team being super physical and, some guys just give up or hesitate. They hesitate in some plays. But, That's good to hear. It's really good to hear. I think that's one thing our defense has. AG, he teaches us how to, not teaches us, but tell us like being physical is the main key. So,
I think based on some of our conversations earlier this year, we thought maybe you'd be taking over the headset just with the way you're going to be training. Josh took it over, then Jalen took it over. I think probably there's something to be said about keeping your play a little lighter and allowing you to focus on you. How did you perceive, not taking over those responsibilities the last couple of weeks? Was it a good or bad thing for you?
No, I mean, me, I'm a coachable guy, and whatever the coaches want, whatever I can do to help my team win, that's what I'm going to do, headset or not. The amount of times I play, I want to make the best of it, and I think that now I'm still learning. There's still a lot to learn, and I just think that as long as I continue to get better, continue to study, continue to ask questions, I think everything will be good at the end. I try not to worry about those type of things and worry about what I need to do to get better and what I need to do to help the team win, and I'm willing to do any and everything for that to happen.
I think we kind of asked you maybe at the midpoint of the season because on the bye, just where you felt you were at. You've got another 4, 5, 6 games. You played more, as we talked about here in these last 2. You're your own hardest script. You're like many players in that regard. So as you've studied your performance on film and seen where you need to improve, where do you think your game is at as you're coming here to the stretch running your rookie season?
I would say I'm still learning. Getting better at the small things. I think that I try to correct the small things that I do wrong. Whether that's pad level, whether that's eyes. I think that's a big thing for me. Throughout the season, the game is starting to slow down, but it's still fast. Not as fast as it was at the beginning of the season for sure, but I try to, like I said, just try to hone in on the small things. When I'm watching film, what other things can I watch for? What other questions can I ask the coaches? What other keys can I hone in on? So, just grading my performance from week 1 to now, I would say just elevating, just trying to get better. There's been some games where I feel like I haven't did my best. It comes with that. It's the NFL, but I want to get to the point to where I don't have any bad games. Get to the point to where I can get better each and every game and show and perform. So.